That's a very good question, because that's what I've been doing for the rest of my life, for most of my life, sorry. How do I build a company with a small budget? That is me, right there. I have used technology. I've used online platforms to build businesses without any form of funding or very tiny budgets, because it's a free space. It's a free platform. I've used social media, I've used the web, I've used any form that potentially can come at no cost to my business extensively. I've literally focused most of my energy. I've never really advertised my company on billboards. I've never advertised my companies on any newspapers or magazines. But also the fortunate part within my business is that I've had magazines. But my first project that helped me make my first million when I was very, very young is that I bartered. So for me, bartering is also critical, because you don't have to exchange cash in order to get value or to get a product. You can always barter against the value that you can provide to a person. So in most cases, I've always done trade exchanges, whereby I would say to the media owner, look, give me a page here. I will give you a particular offering that sits in my company, so that both of us benefit without exchanging cash. Because really, at the end of the day, I did not have much cash. So for me, I think technology is one platform and exchange of value is the other one. It's not a fact that us, where we come from, it's been an easy ride. And to build what you have built to date requires a lot of vision and faith in yourself, purely because there will always be criticism around you. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to mess up. And if you don't understand and you don't handle them effectively, at the end of the day, whatever you are building, the value will reduce. So you have to always strive to build this value and this promise around you. And it's very, very difficult. But I want to share a story of how I built the first business that made me my first million. I want to share with you a journey that I had that taught me a lot about what I do today in order to continue building brands and building businesses, building publications and building hotels. It's never easy, but I just want to share with you the spirit that is fun and the journey that you must either choose that, how am I going to run this journey? Am I going to enjoy this journey, or I'm going to let this journey depress me? Which direction are you going to take? Because one way or the other in this world, it is going to rain outside. There's going to be sunshine. There's going to be storm. There's no chance that the world is going to have sunshine all day long, all year long. Have you ever seen a sunshine all day long, all year long? So you must just accept that it's not going to happen. So the question is, how do you then manage yourself in that space? The bottom line is that the world, even the US, everywhere in the world, even the richest people, there will always be limited resources, but there's unlimited creativity. So I'm going to share with you how I built my own campaign creatively. Is that fine? Let's talk about the time that they speak about in the video, where actually I was a student. I was broke as hell. And I knew that one way or the other, I need to change my life. So what did I do? I knew that I'm like everyone else. I've got the same hands as the other people. I've got the same legs. I've got the same mouth as everyone. But how come I am broke and other people are rich? That's the first question I asked. And then what did I do? I decided, no, man, let me actually go and read about these people. I went to the CNA to go and read books about these rich guys so that I can change my mind. Because I think it's a mind that's a problem. Because I have the same everything as them. I've got access to cars. I've got access to sun, to rain, to everything else. I even look better than some of these guys that are rich. But how come I'm broke? You understand what I'm saying? So the issue is that it was in the mind. I had to deal with my mind. So it means that I had to change the way my mind thinks. So what I did, I used to go to CNA. I was broke. I went to CNA. I went there to try and read about these guys. Because I was so determined to change the way my mind thinks, I would read, and then these CCs at CNA would chase me away because they would say, Puti, look, you know you're supposed to buy this book. You're not supposed to read them here. So they'd chase me away. The way I was so determined, I would go home again, change my clothes, and go back again in a new attire. They would chase me away, go there, wear a cap, different look, back there again until they gave up. And then I read those books. But here are the things that are very, very important that I learned about this life and how to change, how your mind must operate in order for you to change your circumstance. The first thing I learned was that time is probably your greatest asset in the world. You see, time, you have been given time, it's free. Every day you wake up, you've got time. Every single day. The question is, in that 24 hours of that time, if Boss is making 100,000 in that 25 hours, in that 24 hours, you are making 200 rands in that 24 hours, you must be worried. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it means that even if you decide to do your business to be gardening, that means you must be worried that how come on a 24-hour day, I'm only making a revenue of 600 rands, and you've been gardening the whole day. That means there's a problem right there. It means that you must change the numbers. Because the 24 hours that you've got is not working for you if you're only making 600 bucks a day, when someone else is making 200,000 a day. It means that you must invest in yourself in order to operate at a level where you are in the space that generates that type of money. And the only thing that makes that difference is what's in your head. If Pulu talks about the numbers, if you can convince people in a space where they're talking billions every day, you must ask yourself, how come you're not in that space? Because if you spend too much time in the physical space, where you are doing work with your hands all the time, the chances are that you are not using your mind enough. That means the chances are that you will end up in the space for the rest of your life. That means if you're running a tuck shop with your hands and selling to people directly, you must say to yourself, how can I use my mind in order to impact a different space where the numbers are different? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that means that with your time, your 24 hours, you must change your numbers. Paul spoke about the numbers. If your numbers are not looking good, they say year end, you've made 250,000 rand, and you had the whole year to make 250,000 rand, 364 days. You've only made 250,000 rands. You must be very worried. Especially when your friend is sitting next to you and say, Chief, this year we made a turnover of 482 billion or 482 million. And then when you compare the numbers, you see that, no, man, but this is not right. We had the same 24 hours. We had the same 364 days. There's a problem right there. And the only thing that changes your game is the space that you choose. So you must do a research and say, which area can I build myself in where the numbers are good, that I probably am passionate about, and that I can teach myself to be in that space. Because you are allowed to be anything in this world. You must remember, everything in this world is already yours. You don't have to ask for anything. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You can choose tomorrow to be an advisor to Barack Obama. But that means you've got to position yourself, you've got to equip yourself, you've got to invest in yourself and build yourself and educate yourself strong enough to talk the same language at that level. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That means you will have to talk at a certain level that has got the right numbers. Levels, Mchan. You see? It's levels. You get what I'm saying? If you're operating at this level, you must be worried. So you must change your levels. So I would worry if I was in catering. I'm not worried about catering people, because you spend the whole day, you are with the mamas here, you are doing this, and then at the end of the day, you invoice 6,000. You ask yourself, you've been working for 6 days. And then you have to pay the mamas, you left you 600 bucks. Where is your profit? Look for it. That means that you must just do that potential, or look for another model that you're still in catering, but it's a different type of catering. Look at Uber. Uber is in the taxi business, but in a different type of taxi business. They don't own any taxi, but they're in the taxi business. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Because they use at different levels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it goes. They use their 24 hours differently. Now, the second thing that I learned was the issue of markets. You know, some of us, we like to lock ourselves into debt and debt and debt, but we don't even know what our market is. Sometimes I've had this 12 program where I spend a lot of money on these guys. And then I asked me, Chief, who's actually your target market? How can you even be doubting when you should be engaging with your target market on a daily basis? Understand exactly what they want and what they don't want. Because you see, if you really want to change the levels, you must own the market. That means that market, when you step in, they must know who you are. You must build a brand around that market. I mean, if I were to go into the local government space, I've built a brand there. Whoever I walk into in the local government space, they know exactly, because I even have a publication in that space. So I own the market. Because you know, when you own the market, it means that even if you don't supply a product, even if you don't produce a product, but you can supply a product to that market. There's this guy whose market is teachers. You know this guy, he knows teachers in and out. The first thing he used to supply, because his market was teachers. He owns the teacher market, especially in Limpopo. What he used to do, he used to sell computers on credit, on higher purchase, no, to the teachers. And then he faced a glitch there with that market, because now the teachers, from time to time, they would not pay on time, and then he'd be in trouble because he had to finance those laptops. Do you get what I'm saying? But after a while, he's now selling houses to teachers, because you see, he knows teachers have got a constant income. So what it does, he works with another company that does debit orders. So his business is debit orders with teachers. So he knows exactly how to manage teachers with their debit orders. And he knows that you must catch that teacher just before they take their money. It's called a stop order. You understand what I'm saying? He knows, because he knows his market. Do you get what I'm saying? Some of us, we get ourselves into trouble. What we do, we go into, we say, I want to sell shoes. Now we go and ask for money, debt, to go buy shoes in India or wherever. We bring them to a warehouse. We pay rent in that warehouse. The next minute, the shoes don't move because these are ugly shoes. We just don't want those shoes. Now, you are stuck with a debt which you have to repay every single month. You are stuck with the rental that you have to pay. You are stuck with a whole lot of shoes that are not moving in that warehouse. And you are in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you knew your market, you then have a market, you know what type of shoes they want, and then you'd order exactly the type of shoes they want, and you'd first order them by demand. There's called demand these days. No? You order them by demand, you give them to those people who want, and then they pay your deposit again, you order more, and no funding required. No funding required. Your customer is your funder. Yeah, because he pays your deposit, you order, 30 days to pay, you pay. No funding required. And you start building a business with solid cash flow. Do you know why? Because you own that market. I've built businesses on markets only. On markets only. When I made my first mill, I knew the youth market. I knew what they want. So when I made my first big major project, I knew exactly what they want. So what I'm saying is that you must know your market in and out, and never let anyone else be able to even. The way it's so interesting about this market is that if you know the market, people will actually call you to get into that market. Do you know why I started a publication called Municipal Focus? Because Municipal Focus was distributed to municipalities, because I knew the local government space. And then for all these corporate companies that want to speak to municipalities, they have to go through my publication, isn't it? Because I already own the market. I've got a database of everyone in that market. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's how most people build businesses without funding. Now, the third part is that I spoke here about the concept of bartering. You see, in the world, the chances that most of us here have no money. Okay, maybe most of you guys have got money, but me, I'm one of those who never had money at this age. But what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, you are allowed to barter in this world. If you're running an accounting firm and you don't have an office, you are allowed to go to that company and say, can I do your accounting services? And then you give me an office. I want to run my company from here, but I'll also offer you an accounting service. Guess what? You're not paying rent. You're not paying nothing, but you're running a company. And especially if you choose a nice-looking office, like a rich company, and you go, then your clients take you very, very seriously, because now you've got your branding there, you've got an office space there, and it says what accountants. Do you get what I'm saying? and then you don't pay the whole year, and yet the company that you are servicing, not only would, if you do a good job, they will refer you to other clients, and then you build your company like that. No money required. No funding required. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So you're allowed to barter. Now, most of us are not as intelligent as Pulu in the numbers games and all of that. In fact, I failed accounting too. So I'm definitely not in the accounting space. You understand what I'm saying? But it means that you won't be good at everything. If you're not good at something, you are allowed to have partners, you're allowed to have associates, you're allowed to have suppliers that can help you in the areas that you are weak at. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're weak at something, don't beat yourself up. I don't know numbers. I can't crack anything that is. In fact, when I went to Dragon's Den, for me, these guys were confusing the hell out of me. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because the reason why I went to the Dragon's Den is because I had made quite a nice amount of money. So I decided to support these entrepreneurs that are in the 12-12-12 program. Now, when I went to the show, I was supporting these entrepreneurs as a philanthropist to some extent. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So these guys, they used to confuse the hell out of me, and I just keep quiet like this. You know how I used to look at the show? Because I thought you're bloody confusing me. But I knew what is a good business and what is a bad business because of my experience. And I knew, gut feeling wise, I knew how to choose potentially a person who could be a good partner to me. Do you get what I'm saying? A good associate to me. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't know the numbers, then have a person who knows the numbers here, right next to you. You know, like Given Curry with Power FM. You know, Given Curry is a creative like us. So he had this guy, Andile, next to him. You get what I'm saying? And Andile is a numbers man. So you need to have that man next to you. That's why even if you watch this movie, what you call it, the one of the wolf. Yeah. You see, he had the right people next to him. People that compliment him. Because you don't have to do everything. But here's the biggest advice to you. That whoever you choose to be around you, you have to choose them very carefully. Because if you choose the wrong guy, you're going to see hell. I'm telling you, because if you choose the wrong supplier, let's start there. That supplier determines your output. Now, if you've got a wrong supplier, your output will be wrong, isn't it? And that impacts on your brand and your company. So everyone that you choose around you, whether it's partners, associates, girlfriend, wives, and suppliers, especially the wives. If you've got a wife that's always discouraging you at night when you're supposed to be building a business, you've got a problem right there. So you have to be careful who you partner with around you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Now, it's not on the same page. Now, here's the next one. The next one that's extremely important is that as much as all of us, we want to build companies, we want to build empires, you have a commitment to make. You have a commitment to be excellent in what you do. That's what I learned. You see, your business, you must live, dream, eat your business. Purely because if you don't focus too much on your business, which is the weaknesses sometimes I would face because of the many companies I have, you tend to have too many loopholes that can sometimes distract your business. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So absolute focus. If you don't focus, then choose the right guy who will focus on running that business for you if you are happening to run a number of businesses. Because you see, if you are not producing an excellent service all the time, you are always judged by that service that you provided last. And in most business, you're as good as your last. Exactly. So you have to consecutively grow and make sure that each business that you own has got an excellent culture. Because if you don't have an excellent culture, it means that you are most likely going to have a bad reputation. And a bad reputation is extremely difficult to rebuild. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So those are the things that I've learned. But I want to share the last bit of my little adventure in these books that I've read. And these things are the ones that have built me to be where I am today. But the most important one is that I learned that in changing the numbers and changing the levels is what I'm going to close with you today on. Now, you know about the body, mind, and spirit, right? What do they call it? There's the what? No? Now, I'm going to explain something very, very important to you. You see, it's very important that you are here today to meet us as dragons, because we are going to share with you things that you probably never thought of, but they are there. Let's start with the body space. You see, when you operate in the body space as an entrepreneur, which means you are doing the gardening and all of that, and let's say just as a person, not even as an entrepreneur, you're most likely going to make the least money because you're always required to be there in order to have the service done, isn't it? Yeah. Otherwise, if you're not there, no service. That means money is lost, isn't it? Yeah. That's the danger of the body space. That's why it goes in levels. We talk about levels here. When I live here, you must think levels. So the first level is the most dangerous level to operate in life under general. Because in most cases, us as Africans, we are very big on that level. We're the ones who get told, hey, shy and father, shy. You know what I'm saying? And guess who's at the mind level? Sometimes it's the white guys. They're the ones who are telling, hey, go that way, hey, go that way. Because they operate at a mind level. The mind level means that is the educated level, is the self-educated and the formal educated level. That's a level where now you're using your mind, not your body, to operate your life and your business. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, when you operate at the mind level, that means that you are probably the one who's putting together the proposals. I know they are tough, but they want your mind. Now, the guys down there, they don't put any proposals. Their life is, let's go, because it's a physical level. Models, physical level. They can walk as hot as they want, but they're broke as hell. Because they operate at a body level. You get what I'm trying to say? So all I'm trying to say is that you must use the mind level, because the mind level means that you are. Now, let's talk about the third level. So we've done body, we've done mind, because mind delegates, mind manages people. Then the last level, which is where you guys, most of you guys are at, is now the spiritual level, the third level. Now, the third level is when you get ideas come to you. You don't know how the idea comes to you, isn't it? Because you don't even know how your intestines work, how your hands work. You don't even know how you got out of your stomach from your mother. You don't know anything. You don't know. But you're assuming that the ideas that come to your head are yours. No, they're not yours. They're spiritually implanted in your head so that you can carry and create what is necessary in the world. Let me rephrase here. For you to carry what is necessary in the world, you need to be committed to the idea that you are working on. You need to let no one derail you from your idea, especially if more ideas keep. No, but just know that you're not exclusive on those ideas. That idea probably is implanted to 6,000 other people. That's why when you wake up, say, but that was my idea. And you say, no, this guy, I had the same idea. No, you're not exclusive. But if you get there first, you're going to reap a lot of rewards. Let me tell you why. Because when the idea comes to you, the one thing that you have to have more than anything else is to believe in it and have faith that it will happen. Do you get what I'm saying? That means you must commit enough. So let's look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs knew that there must be this type of phone. He didn't have a clue how this phone looks like. Because you must remember, when the ideas come to you, the way you believe in them, you must believe in them, that you can actually tangentize them. Did I use the right English word? Because remember, I had to repeat standard 7 because I didn't know English. So you must tangentize it. It must be so tangible. You must believe in it so much that it's tangible. You understand what I'm saying? Tangentize. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember, also the people that are behind you have to believe that you know what you're doing. So now he came up with an Apple iPhone. Now, the journey to getting that iPhone was crazy for him. A lot of people did not believe in him. Others quit. Others left him. All of that. But he believed in the journey. Now today there's an iPhone. No one saw it. So in the spiritual level, which is in the entrepreneurial level, because this is where you operate. You operate at this level. At the spiritual level as entrepreneurs. Because ideas come to you and you have to make them a reality. And most people would say you are crazy. Because you don't know. You have just got this idea, but no, think about the first guy who came up with a car. I'm sure people are saying, are you sure, Chief? This thing is going to move. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you are the guys who have to sweat it, who have to explain yourself over and over again. And you find yourself that you are the most misunderstood person. Because you can see this thing, but everyone else does not understand you. And this is the level where you have to now have more faith than anyone else. And this is the level that if your spirit is right, you probably have more luck that will take you to that goal. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Because we operate in a space of luck, where you'll find somebody that you find the right person who happens to add value to what you're trying to do, and they get you closer to the goal. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So at the spiritual level, that's where your Bill Gates were born. That's where your Mark Zuckerbergs were born. That's where your Amazons were born, on things that no one can see, on things that the world never expected, and the things that you and everyone else never believed in. And that's the world where billionaires are born. Thank you.